You are now listening to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio. This is the place where we talk about action figures, toys, collectibles, and all that sort of thing. My name is John Sargent.
And my name is Christian McGann.
We have got a fat one for you today. We're going to go through our top 10 ice/winter figures. We're going to get into the action figure news, and then we're going to have a nice little fireside chat about Toy Biz, your favorite topic on God's green earth.
In the beginning, God created Toy Biz.
Before we get into all of that, you guys can subscribe to the show wherever they've got podcasts. If you are hearing the sound of our voice, then you could probably review the show. If you're on Apple, scroll down to the bottom. You'll see the little stars right there. Give them a tap. If you're on Spotify, hit the three dots. That'll bring up your option to review the show. We cannot grow if you guys don't review the show, so it means the world to us. We're trying to get big and bad. We want to go on caravan toy hunts all over the dang world, man. We want to do whatnot sales where we get a bunch of stuff and then redistribute it to y'all. We want to do Instagram lives where we do drafts or what's in the box or whatever. We're trying to get big, so if you guys leave us a review, that would be much, much appreciated. And speaking of caravans to distant lands to go find toys, if you're available on January 17th, and if you can make it to New Braunfels, Texas, just outside of San Antonio, hit us up because we are going to Retromania on a road trip. We're going to find all sorts of gas. We've already got a couple of toy soldiers who have agreed to go on this mission with us. So join in, get at us at Mighty Champions on Instagram, and let us know if you can make New Braunfels and go to Retromania. While you're at it, at Mighty Champions on Instagram is where you can check out all the visuals. You can see my year-end toy room review on there. Anything that we're bringing in from our hauls and our trips and our purchases, that's all going to be on there. Some of the stuff that we talk about on the show. So jump on Instagram, follow at Mighty Champions. All right. All of that admin is out of the way. It's been a minute, man, because we doubled up, and so we actually haven't sat down and recorded in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How you been?
Yeah, really good, man. Buying probably the most amount of toys I think I've collectively.
You're on a heater.
I'm on a heater, man. I've been, I don't know. I feel like destiny has sort of aligned. And, obviously we talked about Chemical Toy Fair, which I just racked up. And that was incredible. So the shelves are looking really good. And also just being the time of the year, Black Friday happened, so went to Bat City Toys here in Austin, Texas, and got a lot of gas there as well. Spent like $40, but only got got like 4 or 5 toys for $40. It was
heck yeah,
killer deal. Did my first Walmart.com purchase.
.com. You purchased. What did you purchase on Walmart? www.walmart.com.
So, I was like scrolling Instagram and Toy Shiz, share like discounted things that are happening around the web
Black
where you
Friday.
can get through. Yeah. So I'm scrolling through, and 99 out of 10 usually.
Wow.
No, 99 out of 100 times, I typically will just like blast through it because, again, I don't really collect modern. I'm blasting through it, hitting that story like Ham when he's changing the channel on Toy Story. And then I see a Spinosaurus. And then I'm like, oh, son of a gun. So I go back and look at it. I'm like...
And as is well documented...
I've been buying...
You just like dinosaurs.
I just like dinosaurs, and I've been buying, modern Jurassic Park, which still feels very weird. I don't know how to feel about it because, again, it's just weird, but it's nice, though. It's nice. I think if they weren't so big, I maybe wouldn't be buying them the way that I am, but they're huge. And so I see the Spinosaurus, and I'm like, man, I've never seen this before. And I'm like looking, I'm like, what is this from? Is this from like the Chaos Theory animated series thing that they do? And I'm looking and it says like, no, it's a super colossal Spinosaurus. And I had been looking at the Hammond collection Spinosaurus, which is just like far more detailed and much more expensive and harder to find. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll come across that one, or I'll buy the OG one from the Jurassic Park 3 movie. But then it was $25, and it was a super colossal one, which is like the other two that I have that are just, like 2 feet tall, 30 inches, 37 inches long or something, whatever they are. So I'm like, all right, deal.
Have you gotten it?
I got it. But here's the kicker. So order it. It's like, it'll be there tomorrow. And I'm like, awesome. And I'm like,
But it's Walmart, so they canceled it.
But it's Walmart. And I'm just like already kind of being like, I don't believe you. I just don't believe you, but I'm going to trust you. I just don't believe you. And so I wake up the next morning and then I get an email, a text message, and it's like, hey, your toy's going to be there at 8:19 a.m. And I'm like, awesome. It was already like early, and I'm like, well, that's going to be fun just to open up and like, hang out, because it was like I said, I think it was Friday or Wednesday or something like that when I got it. And then it was like, they should be there in about 2 or 3 minutes, like giving me like just straight up updates in real time. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Not to cut you off, that's what happened with my J. Jonah Jameson. I think the person got all the way to my doorstep, then they canceled the order.
See, then I get another text message and it was like, yeah, it couldn't be delivered. Sorry. And then I'm like, why? And it's just like, doesn't say.
Yeah.
Just doesn't say.
They don't tell you.
And then I'm like looking around and I'm like, well, how do I even get, like, it's like, it's going to be taken back to a store. Okay. Yep. Which store? Doesn't even tell you that information.
Yep.
Dude, I was so mad.
That's what happened with my J. Jonah Jameson.
I don't understand.
I was tracking it all the way up to my street, and then they're all, nah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the person just decides not to do it.
For me, it was like 9:30 at night. So I was like, oh, they just ended their shift or whatever, and I was unlucky. 8 in the morning?
I'm assuming that there was, like, they couldn't get into, like, the apartment complex because of the gate or whatever. And I even thought to myself...
So how'd you end up getting it?
So they just canceled it, and then I tried to cancel it. I was like, I'm like, forget this, man.
For that.
Yeah. Couldn't find a way to cancel it. It would, like, there was no...
They cancel it. They don't charge you for it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But like, I was trying to, like, get my money back and, like, whatever. Because I was like, that's just so annoying. And then randomly, like, later on that day, I just get a text message, and it was just like... And I look, and it was dropped off at my front door. It was like, it's been delivered. I'm like, okay. So
I mean, that's better than the alternative, but they are so bad at this.
It's just blows my mind. I'm like, it felt like I could feel the laziness of the driver.
Yeah.
Because it was just like he did not even try.
Good
and
grief.
It was like, you have the option to like call the driver.
Oh, really?
I think in the Walmart app or like
I'm gonna start doing that.
You should, because I'm thinking,
don't let me down, man.
Yeah, it was like, it says like contact the driver or like call a driver or something like that. And I almost did it because I was gonna
I'm gonna do that. I've got 2 Marvel Legend Mysterios ordered.
You got 2 of them?
Oh, I ordered 1. Then I heard nothing, and I started seeing it pop up in stores, seeing it all over the internet of people finding it and getting it, and I had no notifications. Then it came up for pre-order again, so I pre-ordered it again because I was like, just double my odds. Mm-hmm. Then I got a notification, I think yesterday or today, I can't remember, a text message. It was like, the one that's like, don't worry, pal, we're going to ship it sooner or later. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And I've still been looking for it in stores. But if it does actually get into transit, I'm going to call that dude up. I'm counting on you, buddy.
I literally... While I was waiting for it, I had this gut feeling. Should I go outside and just go meet him down there maybe? Or like open the gate, see if I can find the truck pulling in, just so there's no reason. And then I was like, nah, they do this all the time. And then it got canceled. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's pretty amazing. It looks really good. The hard part, man, is like, I'm running out of space. Like, I don't really have a place to store them. They're just so big and long that they're just going to have to be on the floor. But it doesn't look that bad. Like, every time I go in there, it's like, again, they're the size of a dog. So I get basically 3 dogs looking up at me. But yeah, man, it's been kind of unique because a couple other things happened, which I initially pulled the trigger on, or as of now, have pulled the trigger on my Star Wars Episode 1 collection.
Oh,
So I bought
I think I
Obi-Wan
saw that
Kenobi.
in your story.
Dude, it was amazing, man. I'm just
Where'd you start that at?
I went to Bat City.
Bat City.
Yeah, because they were doing a discount where it was like 50% off of loose bagged items, which that's amazing. 30% off of carded items. And so I was like, I want to walk away with a handful, and I did. And I figured, why don't I go with the Obi-Wan Kenobi, because that was the first one that I got. So
Okay.
yeah, it feels really, really good. Still up in the air on whether or not I'm going to open it. I don't know why. I just I'm battling myself on that because
I think you should leave it on card till you get a handful of them, right? Till you got a collection going. Put it on the wall somewhere on card and live with that for a minute, and then see how you feel about it as it's growing. And then if you're like, man, I just want to touch them and play with them, then open them. You can always start on card. You can't go back.
yeah, it's true. That and then those classic Batman toys that I've been getting have been burning a hole in my brain. The Mattel, I think so. I'm gonna double check. Hasbro actually.
Oh.
But you can look at what I've been buying on my Instagram at XLifeCoachX. I put out a poll on should I open these? And tons of people.
It's a good thing you did that on Instagram and not Reddit.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I put I think it was the Maximum Spider-Man and Maximum Hulk on Reddit and was like, should I open these? And I became the main character on Reddit for 3 days. People were livid. You could bring up political conversations that are less incendiary than that topic on Reddit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was really surprised because there was a lot of people. A lot of people responded, and people that I would never even expect. I was like, all right.
Some guy you haven't talked to since middle school is like, hey.
A bunch of that. And then a lot of people, I think only 3 people were like, yes. And then the rest were like, no, absolutely not.
I was one of the 3.
Yeah. But so as of now, I'm not going to do it. So that's a little weird for me too. It's like, this is my first time buying something and then leaving it in the box. So we'll see, man. I feel like I'm changing a little bit, but yeah, man, you've been traveling, or you did some traveling, so.
Yeah, I went out to California for Thanksgiving, saw my family. It was great. I think we had about 55 people for dinner.
That's wild.
The Spasmatics performed at my family Thanksgiving.
I don't know what that is.
The Spasmatics is a pretty well-known 80s music cover band. They do Vegas, and I think they're out of Austin actually. They're a relatively big band, and they performed my family's Thanksgiving. That's how we roll.
That's crazy.
We were in this town called Clear Lake, which is just beautiful. It's basically secret Tahoe.
Okay.
It was just absolutely gorgeous. Just living in a Bob Ross painting for a couple of days.
Nice.
But on my way there, I stopped in Santa Rosa, California, my birthplace, my stomping grounds where I've lived and grew up. Tupac, also from there. And I went to a place called Bat Cave Comics and Toys, which wasn't there when I left home. Didn't exist. In fact, it used to be a disguise store, or a costume store. And when I was in kindergarten, I had to get a Benjamin Franklin costume for some kind of project, and that's where I went to buy that costume. So I was familiar with the footprint.
You're like, hey guys, you remember me?
What I had seen online, and the way that this came up was I was on Reddit. I think it was just the action figures subreddit or something like that. And someone posted a security cam photo of some dude and was like, can anyone identify this? No. It was on the Santa Rosa subreddit.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, can anyone identify this guy? And I noticed that the picture was in a toy store. And I was like, where's your toy store? And then someone else responded and told me the name of it and where it was at. So I looked it up. But when I was looking online, it looked more like a comic book store that had toys. So I was like, why not? I'm going. But my expectations were low. It is very much a toy store that has comic books.
Nice.
Big space, lot of sections. Every section's flush. Check out the video at Mighty Champions. I did a whole video of my hunt there.
Yeah.
Great store. Great store. pricing was not low and not high. You know what I mean? Just pricing was just pricing. Stuff just cost what it cost. But huge Star Wars section, huge Batman specific section, huge DC, a little bit of just 90s retro kind of movies and Kenner and that kind of vibe. Everything, man. Everything
Nice.
everything that you want to see, they basically had it. They didn't have a ton of what I'm collecting in the condition that I wanted, though. It wasn't incredibly fruitful for me.
Yeah.
But what I did walk away with was an Andre the Giant WWF Hasbro that's like a 9, probably.
Okay.
And usually the Andres are really beat up because he's black boots, black singlet, and you can see his skin tone underneath it when it scuffs. And you can't. So like it's in really good shape as far as that goes. And then I dropped it, so let me pick it up real quick because it's on wheels and it fell. But you and I were talking a handful of weeks ago about my first memory of my first toy.
Whoa.
And I found this doesn't say on it. I want to say 82 Spider-Man van.
Dude, it's way bigger than I thought it was. That's actually kind of crazy.
So what happened was I went and I didn't see like a wrestling section.
Uh-huh.
And I went and asked the guy. I was like, I just saw like a bunch of like girl figures or whatever, like divas. So I was like, is there a wrestling section? And the guy was like, there's this and there's that. And he's like, and then there's this case. And he walked me over to the case to show me the Hasbros. And I was like, oh, I missed those because I was looking at these hilarious Batman and Superman knockoffs.
Yeah.
And while he was unlocking the thing, I just glanced over and I saw this van. And I was like, whoa, that was my first toy. You know where I was at when I had my first toy?
Santa Rosa?
Santa Rosa, California.
That might even be it, dude. That might even be it.
There's a slight likelihood that's my first toy. So Toy Destiny is weird, bro.
Man.
Like, weird.
Real weird.
Like, what are the odds of this?
That's crazy.
Right? Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's just going to be a tchotchke, a knick-knack in the house. Maybe.
Dude, I mean, you got the video game shelf here. You could probably make some space somewhere.
Yeah, I'll find somewhere for it.
In front of the TV. I don't know if that
Yeah, I just had to pick it up off the floor because it's on wheels that are really wheelie.
Yeah.
And it will travel if it's not perfectly level. So,
Awesome.
But like loved that. And then as far as Black Friday goes, I had a really big win in the long game department.
Oh, yeah.
So Ringside Collectibles has had this Ultimate CM Punk that was exclusive to them that they put out, I want to say last year, maybe like a year and a half ago. It started off at normal retail $32, and then within a couple of days, it was $35, $37, $40, $49. I've seen it as high as like $51 because they can just do whatever they want with the pricing. So I just was like, I already have a CM Punk. I'm not paying way above retail for something that is a upgrade figure for something I already have. That's insane. So Black Friday sale 2.0, it came all the way back down to exactly retail.
Okay.
It's like 31 or 32, which I think is actually less than if it was at Target. Plus, I used the discount code from another podcast. Hey, if you guys review this show, we can get a discount code. Got myself 10% off, so really just shipping. It ended up being what it would have cost me at Target.
Cool.
It hasn't shown up yet. I think it's supposed to get here tomorrow. Super stoked on that. Then on eBay, another long game win. I don't even know how I managed to pull this off. I got Hydro Man.
Dude, okay, I just saw that and I was like, that's new.
I got Hydro Man for $32.
Okay.
That has been going for the last, 6-8 months. That and the Daredevil for the other part of the VHS 2-pack have been going for $50 a piece.
Wow.
Hydro Man's $50. Daredevil's like $100.
Insane.
The sealed box is about $150. So to get Hydro Man for $30, little more than like a single packaged Marvel Legend, but I was like, I have to. Like that, I can't not do it. My Spider-Man shelf is getting packed, and I still have Electro on order, Mysterio on order. I think that's gonna wrap it up. Honestly, if I find a J. Jonah Jameson,
You didn't talk about the potential space opportunity that's opening up for you, right?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. So that was the next thing I was going to bring
talk.
up. There has been a revelation. If you guys watch my toy room video that I put up the other day at Mighty Champions, you will have seen my sports sections. They're not huge, but they're in comparison to the rest of the room. But I've got a 49ers section, which is on one side of a window, and I've got a Lakers section, which is on the other side of a window. And my girlfriend's brother and his girlfriend were at a thrift store or something, and they got me this really big, long photo of the 49ers stadium. It's really cool. Their previous stadium, Candlestick, which is like, home to me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fit in here. It doesn't fit in the dimensions that I have available, like above the window, or like it just doesn't really work in here. So I didn't know what to do with it. And Danielle goes, "Why don't you put it in the hallway?" And I was like, "Oh, like next to the door on the way in?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then she goes, "Why don't you put all of your sports stuff in the hallway?" And I was like, "I can do that?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, man." So that theoretically frees up 2 whole sections.
Wow. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize the Lakers stuff, too. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be weird if only one of them was in here.
That's true.
For my brain.
That's
maybe not to other people, but
yeah.
My eyes are the only ones that really matter. She can hear us right now. She just texted me an F-bomb.
John, why do you have a red dot on your forehead?
And so, now I have space for... I have an on-deck collection that has... We'll talk about it.
Okay.
That has fallen, and risen again, that I think will take up one of these spaces. So, but yeah, that's great news. So,
man, that is like, depending on the type of what you're going for, that's another 100 figures right there, probably.
36.
36?
I've already done all the research.
On one side, or
in one section. So one of them can be T2. Or something I already have my eyes on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that. Or I can move something to get more space. You know what I mean? It's like some of this stuff just, like G.I. Joe classifieds are busting at the seams.
Yeah.
They need more room.
Well, I was going to say your NECA like street scene I think it either could take over and just be solely X-Men or solely Spider-Man, and the X-Men could move somewhere else. Because it's just... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not about it. They need like a proper shelf.
Yeah.
Like shelf. Yeah. And I'm done with the X-Men. Like the X-Men are what they are.
What a terribly sad statement.
No, it's a great thing. It's mission accomplished.
Oh.
And if a better version of them comes out, like I need a Toad. I don't like the Toad that exists. So if they put out a better Toad, I'll get that Toad. Like, it's not done, but it's done. But yeah, so that was my week in toys. You ready to count down the winter figures?
Let's do it.
The city is frozen in fear, and Mr. Freeze aims to chill Batman next, but not anti-freeze Batman. Mr. Freeze and his ice sapper are out of control, but Batman's ready.
Freeze, Batman! Take this, hotshot! Ah!
Only Batman's ice hammer vehicle is tough enough to drill through this ice storm.
Chill out, Mr. Freeze.
Now the best is hotter than ever. Batman. Vehicle and figures each sold separately.
All right, it's the top 10 ice/winter figures because we didn't think of a better name for it.
Arctic.
Arctic.
Well, we're doing this because it's December and it's actually cold in Texas, in Austin right now.
Finally. Holy moly. So I put mine in order of just my desire to own them, I guess.
Okay.
So it's sort of based on the figure, so just based on my own, like, whether or not I actually wish to have this. How'd you do yours?
Mine is sort of like as they came to me. Okay. So it's not in order of like what I would love to have. It's sort of like what would I also, again, if this is the first time you're ever listening to this podcast, which we get a lot of, I choose things based on how I would have chose it back in the day. So you may hear one or two of these and be like, why? Because Christian at that time would have been fired the frick up. So, so mine is kind of just like as they came to me. So Are you starting from 10 or are you starting from 1?
10.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, my number 10 is Toy Biz, Marvel Legends.
God tier.
As is your want.
Yes.
I'm going with the Alpha Flight 2-pack.
Okay.
With Sasquatch and Vindicator.
Okay. This is old.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Canadians.
And
you know what I'm
yes,
saying?
the Great White North.
Sasquatch is a Sasquatch,
Okay.
right? So it fits the criteria. I've never read anything about Alpha Flight. I've never. I think there's an episode or two of the original X-Men cartoon where they're involved. I think there's like mention that. I think they're hunting Wolverine, trying to bring him back.
Yeah, they are.
Something like that. But I have very little interaction with Alpha Flight. I just think they look really cool.
I think they look awesome.
I just think they look really cool. And I have this romanticism of Canada. I love Canada.
Yeah.
So Vindicator is just cool to me.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Is this the female Vindicator?
That's the female one.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't find what's his it's not, is he called Vindicator?
Well, let's go ahead and get on to my number 10.
Okay, what's your number 10?
My number 10, Toy Biz, Guardian from Alpha Flight.
Okay.
So
okay.
I had been trying to do this exact same thing because I was like, they're technically like winter-based figures, right? They're like in the where's Wolverine from again? It's not
Canada, just Canada.
No,
But he's
it's
from British Columbia.
It's something else a little bit more
He's
specific.
like super North British Columbia.
Yeah.
Another West Coast guy like myself.
Yeah. So that one is, I could not for the life of me, dude. Like Google is like almost having a hard time finding some of the things that I was looking for.
Yeah.
Couldn't find one in package, but there is a 1996 Guardian, which I don't know why they call him Guardian. Yeah. Even though it's Vindicator, which is weird.
What's his card called?
It should be, let's see where we got it.
They're in like loose alphabetical order. So, but I think he's next to Venom, like towards the bottom.
Let's see here.
It's so weird when they change characters' names.
Man, where are we at?
I think he's like second row from the bottom, right in the middle. Like right above Scarlet Witch.
That's somebody else. That's Weapon Omega.
Oh, maybe he's not on there.
He might not be on here. Okay. There's a North Star, which is like a similar vibe. He's got like the suit on. Yeah, but no, it's Guardian because there is an actual Marvel Legends Hasbro Guardian figure. But yeah, that's hilarious. So we're gonna have some crossover here for sure. We never do, but this one we probably
we
will.
might even have the same figures.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 9 is Emma Frost.
Okay.
I mean, she's Diamonds, but her name is Frost.
Yeah. I figured you were going that route.
And I'm going with the unreleased or yet to be released upcoming X-Men Retro Card Diamond Form one.
Cool.
So they've done previous, Toy Biz and even Hasbro and like they've done other Diamond Select have done like translucent Diamond Form. Emma Frost. This is the first one where she's Diamond Form, but her clothes aren't.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that, like, two-tone, like, painted on clothes onto the translucent plastic. Looks really cool.
Funny story about Emma Frost is whenever I got...
We dated in high school.
Yeah. For the first time, I got the Marvel Encyclopedia book. And so scrolling through, looking at it, and then there was, like, paintings of her.
You're all, hello.
And, yeah, there's for some reason, I just could not stop going back to that, to the E's in the encyclopedia.
It's just the meme of the guy that's looking at the girl that's walking by and ignoring the other girl.
Exactly.
And it's Rogue you're ignoring because you found Emma Frost.
Yes, exactly. All right, my number 9, staying on the same, as kind of in the same vein as you, essentially in the first one, Marvel Legends Sasquatch Snowbird variant. So
what's that about?
So it's Sasquatch. It's like the big, like 8-inch figure, but he's white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a
Wendigo?
Wendigo, yeah. But this one's called the Snowbird variant, so he's white instead of brown.
All right.
So
I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
My number 8, Winter Soldier.
Ooh, okay. There you go.
Right? Because, I
Hey,
honestly...
I almost went Captain America because I was like, I mean, he was frozen, wasn't he?
Winter Soldier, Marvel Legends, Mandroid, Build-A-Figure wave, so it's the comic Winter Soldier.
Best one.
I love the MCU Winter Soldier in the movie Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
After that, they ruined him.
Yes,
and
of
he
course.
has not recovered. Thunderbolts is cool, but
Marvel movie legacy, ruining characters.
yeah. But the comic version, like just that look, dude, the metal arm and the face cover thing, and like tacked up. Like I love Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
It's just I want to buy a Winter Soldier figure. I just don't have a collection that he fits into.
I mean, you could do like espionage. It could be Wolverine. It could be Captain America.
I was watching Carbon Scoring,
Yeah.
and he's got a shelf where the middle is Shield, and then he's got AIM on one
Yes,
side of them,
I
and
watched that.
Hydra on the other side,
Yeah.
and I was like, I got to find a way to do that.
100%.
Yeah, I got to find a way to do that.
Okay, my number 8, again, going from a young Christian perspective of what he would have been fired up for. Going Max Steel, Arctic Commander. And that's basically it.
What is an Arctic Commander?
I don't know, but he looks pretty cool though. And what's funny is the eBay version that I found was said super rare, and I was like,
for sure.
probably. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of those are probably pretty rare right now.
Rare and desired are two entirely different things.
Yeah, but I was like, you know what? An ode to the younger self.
Love it. Okay, my 7, you either have this really high on your list or you didn't know about it and didn't think about it. I'm not sure what's going on in your head. Number 7, Arctic Assault Sabretooth from the X-Men 2000 line. Do you know about this?
I mean, what does it look like?
It's a gold chase. The plastic X is gold, not red or silver.
So you're talking about from the movie?
From the movie.
Okay.
And it's the first scene where they attack Rogue and Wolverine, and he gets thrown through the snow. So it's that Sabretooth covered in snow, which is like, dude, I was obsessed with Sabretooth because of the Masterpiece cards and the cartoon.
Yeah.
And when he showed up in the movie initially in that scene, I was like, oh my God, they did it. Turned out, no, they didn't. He's horrible.
Yeah.
But I would love that figure.
Okay, well, my number 7 is DC Direct Alex Ross Captain Cold from the Justice line, based on the Justice book.
Okay.
So I don't really care so much for that character, but I love Alex Ross, and I feel like he does just a really good job at making them look as classic as possible, and that's a classic looking character.
Nice. My number 6 is really based on principle more than just like that I want it or would collect it, but I am really happy that it exists and that other people have it. And that is the McFarlane Mortal Kombat Klassics Sub-Zero.
Oh, that's great.
I wanted to go with the Hasbro O-ring one.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, not a good figure.
Right.
Like they're not good figures. I just want them. But the new brand right now, current McFarlane Mortal Kombat Classics are really, really sick. They're just too tall.
Yeah.
The scale doesn't work for me, but I think they're really cool.
Awesome. So my number 6, this one was interesting because I accidentally stumbled on it. But I went with Action Force, which is like
Knockoff G.I. Joe or
which honestly
G.I. Joe.
might have like a whole run for their whole month. Like they may not even get me to buy some of their toys because they are
dope.
amazing.
Yeah, they're dope.
But I went with the Action Force Arctic Trooper with the Arctic Sniper gear, which is like a gear pack that you can buy for it. So it's basically like a white ghillie suit with a sniper rifle.
Cool.
And to me, I was just like, revving my engine. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, baby, let's go.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. Number 5. I can't believe it took this long. Iceman.
Yep.
And I'm going with the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends 3-pack.
Cool.
Marvel Legends that came out not a year ago, 2 years ago.
Right.
I love that it's white with cell shading instead of like translucent or clear or whatever. And I grew up on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah.
I was like renting it constantly. I still watch it from time to time as just background noise.
Nice.
I don't know why people watch Scooby-Doo when that exists. You know what I'm saying? It's like same animators, same like time frame.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo though has its place.
No, I love
for
Scooby-Doo.
sure.
I'm just like, if you're gonna being an adult with just something to throw on that's in that vibe, I'm gonna go with Spider-Man.
For sure.
But yeah, I love that. I love that Bobby.
Okay, my number 5 is a Toy Biz from the 90s, Iron Man Arctic Armor.
Dope.
And it looks so sick,
Dope.
man. It's so sick.
I considered that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good looking fig. Number 4 has come through for us in the past on a mission, Arctic Donatello.
See, I almost picked that one.
Oh, Arctic Donatello, Playmates, 1995. Yeah. Very expensive figure.
Interesting.
Very expensive figure.
Why? That's
because it's an OG Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Dude. They're all, but it's like there's only one of that. You know?
That's sick.
So,
that is sick. All right. Well, my number 4 is the X-Men movie Sabretooth with the snow all over him. So I guess I had that one. That was my first Sabretooth.
You owned that one?
Yes.
Did you even know it was a chase? Did you know what a chase was?
No, I got it from KB Toys.
Okay.
His face is rubber.
Oh, weird.
So you can open his mouth, but his whole face is just like straight up rubber.
It's like jiggly.
Yeah, and
what the?
I know it's weird, but it was awesome at the time. But what happened, like over time, he kept playing with him, and then his like jaw tore. Oh. And then basically after that, he just did not have a bottom half to his mouth, so it was just like a weird. Yeah, it's like the rubber got ripped off.
Kill me.
That is an awesome figure though.
Yeah, I just want it on box.
Yeah,
I'm creeping towards needing that whole line in box.
Big time.
Where are we at? 3?
Yep.
My number 3, Arctic Batman. Obviously, Batman Returns. You know how much I love that white bat symbol. Sure. Smells like French fries. I love the Batman Returns line, and Arctic Batman is like just classic.
Awesome. So my number 3 is Marvel Legends Iceman. So
which one?
It's Marvel Toy Biz, obviously.
But there's only one?
There's a Marvel Legends like individual, and then there's where he's part of the X-Men Klassics, which is like a subset line of the Marvel Legends. And this is basically the same figure. They have another version of him where he's wearing like the little like X bandana, which I think is pretty cool. But they do go the route of the kind of translucent, but with like a sprinkle of blue.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
Like I honestly, I don't think there's an Iceman figure that I don't like.
You would probably not like those as much, just because
I don't like the body that this retro card one that I have is on. I don't like it, but I like the attempt.
Yeah, this one, it's probably the same body as like the Silver Surfer that they use. Like it's really thin, but I don't know. I think it looks really good. Comes with like a stand that has wheels and it's like made, you know, obviously so he can do this like ice skating type thing, but with an honorable mention for the Marvel Select.
Okay.
Yeah, that one looks really good.
One.
Yeah.
I like that one. All right, my number 2, and it's only number 2 instead of number 1 because I already have it.
Okay.
Which is the Kenner Batman the Animated Series Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
Just unbelievably classic. Heart of Ice is the greatest episode of television ever made. Mr. Freeze's whole mythos and character and everything changed on that day because he was not cool up until then.
Right.
And he's been cool ever since. I just love that figure. I love that show. I love the way, like the character design. Just like, love it.
Agreed. My number 2 is the new Batman Adventures Mission Master Arctic Blast Robin with a jet blade sled. This is crazy because, again, what this show does is that you just happen to stumble on something and then it opens a door in your brain and is like, remember this? You had this. And it just blew my mind because before I even saw it, like up close, I was like, wait a minute. And I just started unfolding all of these memories of having this because the costume is so specific. It's like yellow and like light blue and dark blue. It's just hit me like a ton of bricks. So that one is my number 2.
You know what's going to happen. You're going to go next time you go to a toy store, it's going to be sitting there staring at you.
I hope so. I would get it if it is.
That's just how this goes. All right, my number 1, and it's number 1 because I don't have it and I want it real bad, is the Iceman Dean Malenko WWE Elite Series 37.
Nice.
One of my favorite wrestlers from this kind of WCW era, and just not really like much of a personality, but just an incredible wrestler. And his nickname was the Iceman because he just had this real intense look about him. He's got one WWE figure from Series 37. I think they're on Series 137 right now, so it's an old figure, and it goes for a lot on eBay because I would obviously get it in box and then open it because I need it like minty. But yeah, that's my number one. I need that Dean Malenko.
My number one, you already said it, the Kenner Batman the Animated Series, Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
That one I was like, obviously, we're both going to have the exact same one.
Yeah. Love it.
So
I think this is the first time we've ever had the same figure.
The first time we've had, I mean, this is the most that we've had. Usually I try to do, I go off the beaten path, but I thought with the Alpha Flight stuff, I was like, okay, I'm for sure going to be only on this by myself. So
you got any honorable mentions?
Other than the Marvel Select Iceman, there was a Wolverine that was like part of the 10-inch line that I saw somewhere that was like an Arctic spy version, but then I
spent some time considering, does Wolverine himself, no matter what,
I
qualify?
almost put that, yeah. But he wore like a white or like a silver and black suit, and it looked awesome. But then the actual package didn't say anything about like Arctic Blast or Arctic Spy.
I almost tried to shoehorn in the current X-Men 97 street clothes one because he's just got that like jacket on.
I mean, I would have been okay with that. That's cool.
I've got a couple honorable mentions here. Frozone.
Oh, from
The Incredibles. Yeah. The Incredibles 2 from Jax. Love Frozone.
Nice.
Love Frozone. And then this one I just put on here because I stumbled upon it and it made me laugh. Toy Biz 2-pack. Spider-Man and Mary Jane Holiday Special.
Amazing.
Have you seen this?
I think so. I think I've seen that in store.
It's just Spider-Man and Mary Jane, but it's like Christmas themed. He has like a Christmas hat on, and she's dressed like Mrs. Claus or whatever.
That's funny.
A little bit gooner, but like I was like, that's hilarious that this even exists.
I'm pretty sure I saw that at Texas Time Warp.
It would be a cool thing to own and only bring out at Christmas time,
Great idea.
Like Christmas decoration.
But
yeah, that's our top 10 Ice Winter figures. Get at us at Mighty Champions and let us know what you thought of our lists and hit us with your list.
Well, LexCorp's going down. Whether it's me or Superman, who does it?
If it's Superman, that makes it news, and I'll be happy to print it.
All right, let's switch things over to the news. We've always got the latest and greatest for you guys, or at least at the time of recording. These things move very fast, so oftentimes by the time the episode drops on Monday, things have already evolved quite a bit. But as of right now today, we'll start over with Uncle Todd McFarlane. There was some sort of panel thing, a CCX expo thing. I think it was in Brazil.
Yeah.
And a bunch of stuff got announced or showed off there. And McFarlane showed off. It's kind of hard to tell because it's really just a screen grab of a screen. So I don't know if it's like a full-blown wave or what. But there is a Vigilante, a Freddie Freeman, a Black Canary, which looks like she might be from the WB. I can't really tell.
No, that's like a classic.
Is that a comic?
Yeah.
And then there is a 1989 Jack Nicholson Joker, which that's huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. I'm not going to buy it because it's just not part of a collection, and I just don't like McFarlane figures and their scale, but the people who do, that is monstrous. Jack Nicholson's my favorite actor. He's my favorite Joker. So I'm really, really glad that exists. Depending on the packaging, if it has like some sort of special packaging, I would probably consider picking that up.
Interesting.
But yeah, I love that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the Vigilante, I love that character. I've talked about how I love that character. I'm surprised they're just now getting to do it, but yeah, I don't know. And then like the other, it's like, all right, those are going to Ross.
Speaking of Todd McFarlane, but moving over to the Marvel Legends, they showed off a new Amazon exclusive, which is already up for pre-order. At least it was at the time of recording, so hopefully it's still there if you guys need it. A Lizard, which I think this was a Build-A-Figure already. I believe this figure had been a Build-A-Figure, and they're now re-releasing it as a standalone figure.
Interesting.
Amazon exclusive. But it very much has that Todd McFarlane drawn issue 316 of Amazing Spider-Man look to it. Very, very vicious and cool looking, kind of more dinosaur-y kind of looking. I've seen some people online complaining that it's got pinned legs, but like come on, guys. Like, it looks great.
Yeah.
They also showed off the Spider-Man from No Way Home at the very end when he has his new suit. This is a standard, classic, awesome Spider-Man.
I think that's actually supposed to be the Amazing Spider-Man from No Way Home.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's the Andrew Garfield from the movie.
I see.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It is a good-looking Spider-Man.
It doesn't have to be Andrew Garfield. It could just simply be Spider-Man.
Yeah, it can.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
I thought it was the end of No Way Home. No, this is great. It looks incredible.
Yeah.
Also a re-release?
Probably.
Yeah, because didn't they put out the one that had the Andrew Garfield head? With it, wasn't
true.
they put out all three of them at the same time?
Yeah, I think it's just the suit. It's just brighter now.
Yeah, it looks freaking awesome.
Yeah.
They also showed off a red She-Hulk.
Snooze fest.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know there was a red She-Hulk. I don't know why there's a red She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I just, for me, I just couldn't care less. If you need it, it looks fine, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It looks vicious and buff, and she's got two size. Is it Elektra?
I have no clue.
I don't know why she has size.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that. Moving over to wrestling, not a lot of new releases, but there is an Ultimate Diamond Dallas Page from the Monday Night Wars, which I would imagine is going to be a Walmart exclusive. That comes with an NWO shirt from reference to the night where he put on the NWO shirt to fool them, and then diamond cuttered them. Decent looking figure, not my definitive Diamond Dallas Page, but they also showed off the rest of the Monday Night Wars Elite Wave. There's a new Roddy Piper with kind of longer, blonder hair than his Ultimate. Does not top the Ultimate for me. Let me look at who this Build-A-Figure, and it looks like the Build-A-Figure is X-Pac, DX debut X-Pac. There's the Steve Blackman, which is mandatory for me. I have to have this Steve Blackman figure. One, I love Steve Blackman. Two, he comes with 2 Filipino fighting sticks. I do Filipino fighting stick fighting, and I need those for my custom.
Cool.
And then there's also the Sid with the duffel bag commemorating the hilarious clip of him finding his car flattened and then standing on it and yelling Goldberg. And then there's a China, which is like the definitive China for sure. So another incredible Monday Night Wars wave that no one will ever find. That's lost at the bottom of the ocean.
That's hilarious.
At least it might as well be.
Yep.
Also, this week, Ringside Collectibles added to their unsanctioned Classic Superstars line, and they showed off two packs of Demolition, Axe and Smash. So they've got the regular and the Chase. They look amazing. This is a huge time period for Demolition. They've got these Ringside Collectibles. They've got Elites coming out. They've got Micro Brawlers coming out. They've got Superstars coming out. So they're all over the place in a big bad way. So hopefully they're out there on that autograph circuit making a bunch of money. But these Ringside ones look really, really cool. If I didn't have the Elite ones already pre-ordered by the time I saw these, I would have bought these. Let's see. NECA showed off their deck from Predator Badlands. Looked good. Looks like he looks in the movie. I don't need it, but looks good. Playmates has a Ninja Turtles Battle Arena 6-pack with all 4 Turtles and Rocksteady and Bebop. A little more geared towards like children, like actual toys.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy that exists. I don't know what it's, if it's from like the current cartoon or if it has reference to anything or if it's total fantasy or whatever, but I just like the idea of kids getting Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that exists. Speaking of Ninja Turtles, Mezco Toys showed off their 4-pack of the movie Turtles. These look incredible.
Yeah.
However, they are about $90 a piece.
It's crazy.
So yeah, a little over $300.
$350 to be exact.
$350 for the 4 of them. I just can't sanction it.
No.
I need someone at Mezco to sit down, come on the show, and explain to me what on earth could make a figure worth that much money.
I know.
I just can't fathom it. Like, but they do look incredible.
They look good, but
They look
man, that's
awesome.
I don't know.
It's just such a disappointment whenever I see these sorts of things and I go, oh, there's brand new movie figures. I could get them because they're available.
Yep.
And then I look at the price and I go, never.
Nah.
Never, ever.
Yep.
Then the last thing that I had is from Mondo. And basically Mondo has taken their 12-inch figure and they've shrunk it down to 6-inch with the same detail and more articulation. And they've got a 2000X Skeletor that looks freaking amazing. It's got like 2 different staffs and both swords and a bunch of little like skull accessories and a cloth cape, 4 hands. It looks amazing. I'm sure it's also, $100 or $200 or whatever,
yep.
But it looks so good. Like something somewhere will come along that's going to make me start collecting Masters of the Universe. I just haven't found out what it is yet, but that one looks really good. Did you have any news that you wanted to get into?
No, man, I think you covered every single thing that's been coming out that is worth talking about. I see there's like Transformers and stuff like that, but again, I didn't look at them. So.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm just not knowledgeable enough to know what's going on with those.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It just doesn't... Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's have a little chat about Toy Biz.
Let's do it.
Hey, kid. You think you're an X-Man? Okay. Name him.
Wolverine, Cyclops, Beast, Gambit, Rogue, Sabretooth, Magneto, Cable, Storm, Professor X, Phoenix, Bishop, Archangel, Apocalypse, Iceman,
You forgot some.
Mr. Sinister, Omega Red, Colossus, Juggernaut, Weapon X, Sauron, Longshot, Pyro, Gladiator.
Name him. Join him. Collect him. The X-Men collection. Sold separately.
Switching it over to Toy Biz, which is your jam, and you've been kind of hinting at it and teasing it and debating over it that you wanted to do sort of a history of, so to speak, of Toy Biz.
Yeah, man. I mean, I talk about it every single episode. It's the very thing that I feel like I almost talk about too much, but I can't help the fact that I just love it. And I think, honestly, if we had everybody that collected toys at some point in their life, it's probably had something that was Toy Biz. And I feel like it's really recognizable, too. Even for people who don't actively collect now, but bought toys as a kid in, like the late 80s, early 90s. Like, you're going to see that and be like, oh my God, like, it's going to open the door in your brain, which I'm sure it does that for you.
Oh yeah, they were a huge part of my childhood. The
Exactly.
Toy Biz X-Men figures were life for my age group. You know
Big
what I
time.
mean? Like they were just everything.
Yeah, man. And, I had not really known too much about the story of them because I think for me it was like the childlike wonder that this thing existed and then it just didn't exist anymore. So there was a weird hesitancy for me to want to learn about them because it was almost like I don't want to learn about the life and the death. I wanted just to let it be what it was. But we had watched that YouTube channel, Carbon Scoring, where he kind of goes into detail about all of the Marvel Legends, which is, again, my wheelhouse. And it was really interesting because there was part of me, again, that was scared to watch it because I was like, one, he's probably going to be negative about certain things, which he really wasn't. He, in fact, praised them like pretty heavily. But it was the idea.
He kind of does what you do, and he kind of carries however he felt about it as a kid.
Yeah.
He just carried that with him, and then even if it's goofy or bad or weird, he still loves it because he used to love it.
Exactly. And on top of that, it was really interesting and unique to learn about like the body reuse.
Yep.
Because I never saw that. I never paid attention to it. I didn't care. So it was almost kind of like pulling the veil over my face for me to see like, oh, they actually were reusing
You
bodies.
took the blue pill.
I know. And it was like almost kind of like, man, like I probably could have put 2 and 2 together, but did I really need to know that? Because to me, it was
Never look under the bun.
Exactly. It was perfect. It was perfect to me. But it was interesting, like, when he was pointing it out, I was like, oh, duh. Like, of course. And that, to me, really was like, I don't know. It was kind of eye-opening. It was kind of cool to hear him talk about some of the artists and sculptors of like what they did at the time, the people who like paved the way. But in general, I think the biggest thing that we learned was like about Avi Arad and the fact that he...
Yeah, so yeah, that was a huge takeaway for me was that Avi Arad, who to me was a producer, a TV producer and a movie producer that worked for Marvel in the 90s and early 2000s. He is responsible for, actually I'm going to pull him up on Letterboxd right now.
Dude.
He is responsible for all of your favorite things and all of your least favorite things.
Right, yeah.
He is a captivating, polarizing figure in Marvel, and I remember seeing his name because he was a producer of Spider-Man the Animated Series.
Yeah.
And then when I saw his name again on like X-Men or Spider-Man or something, I kind of put two and two together and was like, oh, that's this guy.
Yep.
Then he started popping up on all the DVD bonus features, and he was put himself front and center to make sure you knew that he was responsible for this. So he was responsible for Daredevil, Hulk, Punisher, the Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man's Elektra, Fantastic Four, X-Men, Last Stand, Ghost Rider, all the way up through...
Even like current movies.
All the way up through Andrew Garfield. Then he jumps back on for Venom and Spider-Verse and Morbius and Kraven.
Yeah.
He's responsible for some great and some god-awful stuff.
Yeah.
And come to learn, his entry point into Marvel was that he was a founder of Toy Biz.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if he just dropped toys entirely and focused on the movies, or I don't know how that worked, but...
Well, I think it's just from the history of it, because I guess he was like a co-owner of Toy Biz.
Yeah.
And...
Co-founder.
Co-founder, yeah.
Yeah.
With another guy, I think his name is like Ike Perlison or something like that, or I'm going to butcher his name. But yeah, I mean, it was like 1989, I think is when that first like kind of became its thing.
Okay.
And then from there, they literally change the game. I mean, like everything we have today, I think we owe to Toy Biz.
Yeah.
I mean, like Kenner is really, really big. Kenner kind of like paved the way, I feel like, for a lot of, you know, like obviously like an older generation.
Kenner opened the door.
Yeah.
Kenner was like, okay, here's Star Wars, right? Here's these 3 3/4 figures. Here's all of these characters. Here's toys for boys,
Yeah.
right? That are vehicles and stuff are scalable, right? Because up to that point it was like 12-inch G.I. Joes. So
Yeah.
they opened that door for a giant market. Toy Biz and Marvel kicked the wall down.
Yeah.
And just changed everything.
Yeah, so some notable toy lines, obviously, from Toy Biz that were like really interesting to me. They did the Batman 89 movie.
Yeah. Yeah, those gold card.
Yep.
Yeah, those are Toy Biz. The Toy Biz logo really stands out on that gold card.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really interesting because it was Kenner, I think, that took over from Batman Returns going forward.
Yep.
And then obviously
Arctic Batman, baby.
the Batman animated series and stuff like that. But yeah, from 1989 to I think 1990, they also had another line that was DC Comics Superheroes, same kind of thing. It was running at the same time as the Batman 89 toy line. Very much like the Kenner Superpowers. Like almost like a pretty similar design and aesthetic. I mean, obviously that's what all action figures kind of look like at the time.
Was it meant to be a continuation? Or was it
No,
before?
it was like its own separate sort of line based off of like the comic book characters, like classic look of those characters.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I would imagine the Kenner came first, right? Of the superheroes line?
What year are you saying?
The 1989 to 1990.
Yeah, Kenner would have been first because it was like, I think maybe even like early 80s.
So that explains why they're not that sought after.
Yeah.
You know, there probably is a handful of people that are into that because it's probably what they saw at the shelves at the time. Same thing with, you know, like the that line. Because I haven't really seen a lot of people like really, really freak out about the Batman 89 toys. but they look.
Oh, I've seen these. They're all on that gold card.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, I have seen these. I didn't put two and two together that these were Toy Biz. That gold card is terrible.
I don't mind it.
The Batman, it works.
Yeah.
Because the logo is gold, but like for the Flash, I don't like it.
Yeah.
For Superman, I don't like it.
And maybe why it didn't do super well. I don't know. I mean, maybe it did. I didn't really look into what it was like at the time, but I can tell you now that they're not that expensive, so there's probably not a huge collector. I think the Batman 89 probably does have.
The Batman 89 is like tough to come by.
Yeah. I mean, the Batmobile, all those things, like, man, the there's like a Bat Cave, which is super sick.
Yeah, the Command Center, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, like their golden age of Marvel, because I believe that they got a like a royalty-free rights to Marvel toys.
They essentially got a lifetime deal. Well, a lifetime royalty-free, like kind of like Hasbro and G.I. Joe. Was what was the idea.
Yeah,
and that was Avi Arad's in.
Exactly, which was, I think, when Marvel was on the cusp of bankruptcy.
Yeah, Marvel had a rough 90s.
So that's basically why I think they got in so cheap and so easy to get all their toys.
So at the same time that they're selling Spider-Man to Sony and Hulk to Universal and Iron Man to Paramount and all of these things, they're also doing a exclusive rights deal with Toy Biz because they are about to go completely under.
Man, yeah, that's it. So some of the major Toy Biz lines, obviously, you're going to know every single one of these, but there's the Marvel Superheroes, which is the 1990 to the early 1990s, and then a lot of the various, like, 1990 X-Men, Spider-Man, Hulk, a lot of those. Marvel Universe, which is like 1996 to 1997. And some of those were transitioning into like 5-inch character designs. And I guess probably based off of the Spider-Man animated series is probably what I'm assuming they were gaining most of their influence. And then in the that was probably 1994 is when the Spider-Man stuff started coming out. There was a line, I guess, right in the 1997-ish that was like Spider-Man, X-Men, and stuff like that, where they started to become slightly more articulated. Because there was a point where they were just like the little, like, you know, they had like their arms moved, their elbows probably bent, maybe knees, I think, bent. But there was like, that was it. But then I think in the later 90s, late 90s, I think like 97, 98, in that range, like probably even 99, is where they started to become almost where you could see where they were going.
Where things were headed.
Where things were headed, where you would see people, like, it's funny, because I found in fact, at Chemical Toy Fair, there was a giant man that was probably like 7 inches tall. And I was like, what is this? I was like, I've never seen this before. And I'm looking, and I see it. I think it's like 1998. But he's like slightly more articulated. And I'm like, interesting. I found a Spider-Man that was like that same thing, where they started to become slightly more articulated. And then Spider-Man Klassics hit the shelves in 2001, which changed the game for everything.
And that's like the beginning of what becomes Marvel Legends?
Well, exactly.
Okay.
Where that articulation is outrageous.
It's
where
like
their
each individual
fingers move, like there was all kinds of opposability and stuff like that. So Spider-Man Klassics hit first, and then eventually became its own like subset line, which was like the Spider-Man Klassics line, which is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Freaking unreal.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
I was looking back through your Instagram to find something. You had I can't remember, something you had posted that I was like, I forgot and I need to go back and look.
Yeah.
And whatever the picture was that you had posted, your Spider-Man Classics like logo was in the background.
Yes.
And I just took a minute to be like, love it.
It's
like,
amazing.
Just love it.
It's amazing. So that one obviously changed the game. And then so I think the Spider-Man Classics and then the line itself was also up until about 2005. I think it went a little bit later because there was a point when Toy Biz became Toy Biz Worldwide, which I think was manufactured from like Japan or China or something like that.
Boat.
Yeah. So Toy Biz Worldwide, that's why the logo changed, because it went from like the round classic yellow and red, and then it switched to like a wider blue and white.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
You've seen it before in passing. I bet you've seen it before.
Maybe didn't put together what it was.
It was just weird because as I'm researching all of this, I'm like traveling back in time and seeing through my eyes as a kid the evolution of these things changing. And I couldn't explain why it was changing. I just noticed, okay, why is this logo different? But I didn't think anything of it. I just noticed there was this evolution of things. But now, like, looking back again in the Matrix and realizing, like, holy crap, like, these things are changing because there's something happening behind the scenes, you know?
Yeah.
Which, again, was kind of sad.
You don't think about the business.
You don't ever think about
and the
that.
business wasn't talked about. There wasn't... I mean, unless you were getting Wizard magazine, which I was,
Right.
but most people weren't.
Yeah.
You didn't have any way of knowing what was successful or what was failing, and you
Right.
didn't care.
Right.
You just knew what was on the shelves.
Exactly.
You didn't even know what wasn't on the shelves. You thought your store, that's your world, and that's what exists, and you're not thinking about what doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really different times. So stuff would appear and stuff would disappear.
Yep.
And you just didn't know why.
You didn't know why. Yeah, exactly. And again, at this time, they're making these toys for kids. They're not thinking with collectors in mind at all. Like, I think their collectors obviously exist at that time, but they're not thinking about those people. They're thinking about the kids, the toys on the shelves.
The kid was their financial
So
bread
that's
and
why,
butter.
like, you have like Spider-Man coming with these amazing things. Like, they were like, oh, a kid would love for there to be a street scene, and so we're going to add in this much more plastic, you know, whereas like they think about it today, they're like, if we do that, we're going to charge, you know, $25 more if we do it. Back then it was like, nah. And then we get to Marvel Legends, which started in 2002, which was the, you know, Captain America, the Incredible Hulk, the randomly the Toad, which is super weird, which I learned the history of that too. That guy kind of broke it down about how they had like a sculpt because it was essentially supposed to be a different X-Men line, and then they ended up going with the Marvel Legends, and the Marvel Legends was, I guess, supposed to be like the definitive look of all of these characters.
Okay.
Which I think was really cool because learning about the design of them and how they were influenced by certain artists, and that was kind of interesting
like
to
comic
me.
book artists.
Yeah, comic book artists. I never really thought about that. I never thought about how like this character is actually like this actual suit design is based off of like, you know, this iconic artist, but it was like so many of them are actually brought off from that. And Carbon Scoring, the guy, did a really, really good job at like pinpointing a lot of even where some of these like unique character designs, because he would say like, this is random that this version of Captain America was pulled from like issue 126 whenever he had this, and that's for some reason that's what they went with. But Marvel Legends, obviously, with their crazy level of articulation, again, changed the game. What they would come with, because they would come with like a stand that you could attach to the wall, like a wall mount.
I love that. I love that. There's so many things about, like, you and I are like, you know, we kind of half joke about modern versus retro and, you know, Hasbro versus Toy Biz and stuff like that. One area where Toy Biz has yet to be surpassed is that, like you said, that extra chunk of not even accessory, but like display. Yeah. And the ability to attach it to the wall, or the ability to that little extra something meant to display.
Spider-Man.
So the kid might have been the bread and butter financially. The kid isn't going to hang it on the wall. That is a collector's mindset.
I mean, speaking from myself though, like I did hang it from the wall. Like but I also just played with it as if it was going to be on there. Like that was like the best part about it, is that you would get like a street scene with a trash can or like a street lamp, or, you know, like if it's the Juggernaut comes with a like he broke through a wall, and it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they didn't think anything about it, dude. They were $8. Yeah. Not only that, but you would have Juggernaut, who is... That's what I'm saying. You'd have a Spider-Man figure be $8. It would come with Spider-Man, come with the comic, come with the plastic wall mount, whatever street setting it was. You have Juggernaut, who's
even if you adjust for inflation, that's like 15 now.
Exactly.
It should be.
Exactly.
And it's like 30.
Yeah.
And with half the stuff.
With half the stuff. They would do, like, again, the Juggernaut is like however many more ounces of plastic, right? Same exact cost. No change whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing that changed the game is the Build-A-Figure. That was not in existence before.
They ushered in the Build-A-Figure?
They are the ones that yeah, exactly. Okay. Which was amazing, because then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to buy these toys that are going to like build another toy for me. So obviously it's incentive.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you had like a cool, which some of them were kind of bizarre. Like the Mojo one I thought was like really interesting because that's such a disgusting looking character.
Yeah.
I don't like that character in the slightest at all. I think it's just disgusting to look at. I don't think that wave is something that I actually would need, because there's like a bunch of like a handful of characters that you just like, I don't think I'm good on that. But they have like, you know, the Galactus wave, which I'm almost done with. I need to finish buying Professor Xavier, which that guy Carbon Scoring makes a really good point that how bold they were in making these toys, where they decided we're going to make Charles Xavier, but he's just a bald dude in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And it's like, but for some reason it worked, but they put the Galactus head with him. So you kind of have no choice.
Yeah, you need the head. So if you don't want the just bald guy in a wheelchair, you got to get him.
Exactly. And then on the packaging, obviously, it's like that one hits for a lot of people. It's like the legacy, right? The massive shell that they used on the back. You have
the packaging is another thing where I would admit not been surpassed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then no packaging, including a comic. And then that's just such an amazing look.
I mean, you flip it over and it has like a story about like maybe their origin or whatever, and then you have their power.
Yeah,
you know, like
little graph.
Their graph
thing,
of like
which OG Marvel fans, the graph was everything.
Everything. Dude.
Everything. The cards, the comics, the encyclopedias, everything had the graph.
Yeah.
So you knew who was the smartest. You knew who was the strongest. You knew who was the fastest.
Right.
Because the graph was, it really wasn't uniform. Like they didn't keep track of this stuff.
Yeah.
But you didn't. Another thing you just didn't think about as a kid. If it said that this person was the strongest, then you accepted it. Yeah.
That was it. And it was like, so I've been just looking at Juggernauts the other day. It was like maxed out to 10 for strength. And it's like, oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
And the aesthetic of it is just so
the power
perfect.
of imagination. It's just a bar graph that goes to 10.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, yes.
It's mind blowing. Exactly. So that I think is incredible. They had obviously like the sub line, so they had like an Incredible Hulk one that I think was like very short lived. They had the Hulk movie, right? They had all the movie lines, X-Men 2000 to whatever, like X-Men The Last Stand, Spider-Man 1 through 3, Hulk, Iron Man, Ghost Rider, Daredevil. So Daredevil being
Fantastic Four,
the Ben Affleck Daredevil,
Avi Arad getting cash on both ends of these.
Oh yeah, big time. The Daredevil, the Ben Affleck Daredevil Marvel Legends figure was like released. They did that with the Punisher. They did it with Blade. Blade actually had its own run, but it was from like 97 or whenever the movie came out.
Different packaging and
different packaging.
That Blade Marvel Legend though, that's on my list for my movie shelf.
There you go.
It's like $75 mint on card.
Comes with the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Again, comes with the motorcycle, the Legendary Riders wave. But yeah, I mean, like you had all these like sub lines of these, like the major lines, which a lot of them were somewhat the same toy, but they would change something up. They maybe like change the head sculpt, or they change the costume up a little bit, or like their mouth would be open, like yelling or whatever. But the X-Men Classics one is still one that I like absolutely want to pursue, because they have like another Wolverine, another version of Wolverine, the actual Cyclops, because Cyclops only had, at this point, he only had one Marvel Legends, which was the classic, whoever, I don't even know who drew that suit, the one with like the blue hood.
Oh, from like the Chris Claremont
era.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, and then he had a variant, and then there was a actual Jim Lee Cyclops from the X-Men Classics, but really only 2. It's like this massive character who barely had anything, but they had other...
They were preoccupied with everybody else.
Exactly. So, I mean, to me, dude, like unbeatable, obviously, but there were terrible female figures. Like the female figures are awful. You brought that up recently.
Good Lord, they're bad with like just god awful face sculpts and the like joint in the middle of their neck.
Yeah,
like what? I don't get it. Why just the women? Is it just like they didn't think they were going to sell as good, so they put less time and effort, or what?
It must be
trash.
Yeah, it must be.
They're trash
because you have to think about it. You're like, okay, does like an 8-year-old boy want to buy, like a girl?
Certainly not when they look like that.
Yeah, I didn't have any because I didn't want them. I was like, nah, I don't want the girl.
If I was collecting them, I probably would want the full X-Men team, which is like half women. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like but not if it looks like absolute garbage.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, one thing that Toy Biz did that was also amazing was the box sets, right? You would just be like, oh, well, yeah, like what if we made a box set with, let's say, I don't know, Spider-Man, Carnage, Venom, and Doc Ock or whatever. In the 90s, they did a lot of those. In fact, I saw one yesterday that I screenshot that I was like, oh my god, I never knew this existed. It's the it's called like Monsters Unleashed. It's essentially the episode of the Spider-Man, Punisher, Blade, Kraven. It's a box set full of all of those guys.
You're blowing my mind.
I'm telling you, dude.
And these are Legends or before Legends?
Pre-Legends, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still unreal. Another thing where I would say Toy Biz has yet to be surpassed is the box sets.
Dude, so it's Spider-Man. It's the mutant Spider-Man. So it's 3 Spider-Man figures. It's the one where he's like actually a mutated spider.
Man spider.
It's the one where he's got, 6 arms. It's J. Jonah Jameson. It's the Punisher with the actual look of the animated series. A Spider-Man, Lizard, Kraven, and Morbius.
Good
Monster
God.
Mayhem is what it's called.
Oh my god, it's like the Spider-Man animated series starter kit.
Dude, it is amazing. I'm gonna send you a photo of it really quick.
Yeah, I might have to get into that.
I would actually open that. Like the packaging looks good, but dude, I would actually
they're
open
box
that.
sets, dude. Like, and the fact that they're like themed or whatever you want to call it, just so cool. Like every time.
Dude, it's amazing. So yeah, I mean obviously you can see like the freaking impact that even to this day, like Marvel Legends pays tribute only to the extent of obviously like they call it Marvel Legends, but man, like it's like questioning why wouldn't you go the route? I mean, I guess they use accessories.
They did for a minute. They did the Hulk, the Captain America, an Iron Man, and that Toad.
It was the 20th year anniversary.
20th anniversary. Yeah. But they should keep going back to it and just keep doing that box and include a comic.
Well, I mean, we hit that time where they were like, we're going to do like no plastic covers. So you're going to have a box where you buy these toys in.
Yeah.
And obviously that failed profusely.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like, the one thing that we didn't get a ton of, I think, maybe in the Marvel Legends was the accessories. I mean, I guess they did, but they're really about the accessories now. Like, just even looking at a lot of them, like it's all about hands, it's about heads and stuff like that. You didn't really get a ton of that. They just came with, if the character had accessories, it came with the accessories.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like, to me, the value was there, even though, like, some of the sculpts were.
Well, then you get into WCW Smash and Slam
from
Toy Biz, which comes with a lion or a trash can or a stop sign or a Tommy gun.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's so some of the other lines that they had was the WCW. They had TNA, which.
That's right, they did do TNA.
They did TNA, which there was a bunch of, like, from what I've learned, there was crossover between bodies sculpts that they would use.
Yeah.
And so there was I forget what figure it was.
I think the TNA figures are even branded as Marvel.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the box says Marvel on it.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
There's a Raven figure. Wait, no, this might have been Jax. I could be wrong about this. Get at me at Mighty Champions and let me know. There's a Raven figure where he has a Punisher t-shirt on.
Dang.
And I think either Jax got away with something they shouldn't have done, or it was a TNA figure, and the only reason they were able to do it was because of that.
That might be the case. But yeah, I mean, So they had that. The other lines that they had, like they said, the Blade movie. They had the Batman '89, Lord of the Rings, which is, again, I keep talking about a lot of that. Yeah. So, they had a legendary run. It's funny because, he talks about this in the carbon scoring video, but this was something I recognized as a young kid, which was like how the figures began to change or how they began to get worse in a way. It was almost like they were running out of money or trying to save money to sort of like, I don't know what it was, but there was something about the figures where the actual sculpt just started to change a little bit. Like their heads got smaller, and so it kind of looked sort of pinheadish. The paint app looked a lot less like striking, whereas like some of the toys like the Marvel Centurion, Iron Man, or what's another good example? I think that one's a good example because it's got like bright, like this shiny red, right? Like they did not skimp on the paint job. They were like really ultra detailed.
They don't look as good of a paint app as like a modern Brody King.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a level of detail that you could only do 20 years down the road now.
Yeah.
But in comparison to everything else in the market at the time and everything else that had been on the market up until that point, they shattered the mold when it comes to the details in the paint app.
Yeah, the details that they would add to the suits that were just like unnecessarily detailed. It's like, man, you almost didn't have to do that. You would have been fine if you didn't go that route. People would have loved you anyway, but they did it anyway.
Yeah.
But you could see that the paint started to kind of go downhill. It was like it was like more dull, less like bright and shiny. And again, the face, some of the face sculpt started to look worse, I think. And but yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, I could tell at the time. I was like, man, this is something weird about it. I was like, why doesn't this look as good? Yeah, and then I was kind of reading up on the like actual history of what happened. It was how it went down, and Hasbro basically bought the rights to Marvel to make the toys and games and stuff like that.
So how did they get those rights when Toy Biz had an exclusive lifetime deal?
Well, I guess they just offered them. I don't think it was lifetime. It was like a. I
think it was lifetime.
It may have been, but either way, I think Hasbro came knocking with money they couldn't refuse, because what I read is that they bought it for like $215 million.
Okay.
And essentially the contract had not been over yet with Toy Biz. So Marvel Entertainment ended up having to pay Toy Biz a like penalty of like
a buyout.
Basically, like they got penalized for like exiting the contract early.
Okay.
And I think they ended up paying like $15 million or something like that for like exiting early.
But got 200 and whatever from Hasbro.
Exactly. Yeah. Which pulled the rug out from underneath Toy Biz.
That's a no-brainer.
So Toy Biz was like, obviously, a lot of their movie lines that they had, not super big. And even at the time, WCW was also like a short-lived contract.
They went out of business in 2001.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So they basically were like struggling to try to keep the doors open. And this is where this kind of blew my mind, because I've seen this packaging before. I've seen it in person. I just always assumed that it was Hasbro, but it wasn't. So after they lost Marvel, they were like, what do we do now? Because that was going to be the biggest bang for your buck, right? They created a new line called the Legendary Comic Book Heroes line.
Okay.
And then they pulled a bunch of these, like, dude, look them up. It's crazy. So I'm going to read down the list of what they had, okay? So they were like, well, we don't have Marvel. We don't have DC. So we're going to use all these kind of, like, kind of indie comic sort of characters, right? So the Series 1, which is the Pit series, which is like a Build-A-Figure wave for a character named Pit, which I don't know who that is or where that's from. So we got this right here. Judge Dredd.
Sick.
Yes. Witchblade. Ripclaw.
Savage Dragon.
Savage Dragon. Super Patriot. and then Pit with Little Timmy Bracken. Again, I don't really know where that's from.
No clue.
Basically, it's like Dark Horse. It's 2000 AD. It's Image Comics. So pulling a lot of those like indie comics, right?
These are good too.
Dude, yes. The 2-pack series, which is Roral, and then Conan, which is awesome. And then Clownface and Panda. Again, I have no idea who any of those characters are. Then you got Series 2, which is the Monkey Man Build-A-Figure wave, which I don't know who Monkey Man is. You have Star from Savage Dragon. You have Stryker.
And are these branded as Toy Biz?
They are Toy Biz, yeah.
I mean,
well, it's Marvel Toys is what they're calling it. For some reason that they were called Marvel Toys.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing this marketing thing for the Pit series, and the top corner says Marvel Toys on it, and none of the characters are Marvel.
But for some reason they were able to do it. And
so weird, dude. And on the bottom it shows you Image, 2000 AD, and Dark Horse.
Yeah, they were pulling all those lines out. So they had Stryker from Cyberforce. Again, don't know what that is. Ann O'Brien. Don't know where that's from. Judge Death, obviously from Judge Dredd. The Darkness from the Darkness comic. Marv from Sin City.
What?
Which is sick. And then Monkey Man. So, dude.
Man, some of the I guess back in the day the legality wasn't as strict as it is now, because Marv is a DC character.
Well, at the time, I don't think he was. He's not. They're not DC. Sin City's not DC. I think it was Dark Horse.
Yeah, it is Dark Horse. Sorry, I was thinking of Watchmen. My bad.
But so they did that, and then I guess from there it just wasn't successful. That's why there was like only 2 lines.
Yeah, I mean, of course not. Like that's so niche. Like niche of a niche of a niche of a niche.
Yeah.
Like, they look good.
They look good, dude. I'm honestly considering buying that Judge Dredd. And then maybe even the Conan one, because that looks so sick, man.
I might be with you on that. Those are the 2, and maybe Savage Dragon too for me.
I only ever heard about that. I never really knew who it was, but yeah.
Dude, yeah, this Conan 2-pack is fire.
Yep.
Well, interesting. And then that's it. That doesn't do good, and that's just kaput.
Pretty much from there. I think they had like a couple other lines. I'm sure there's even more detail about what actually took place, but essentially there was just no line that they had that was keeping their head above water.
Like nothing to produce.
Yeah. So essentially, like Hasbro killed Toy Biz, so I am now going to kill Hasbro. So, and dude, I almost think it reinforced. I almost think it even more so reinforced the fact that I'm like, I think when I'm done with Toy Biz, I think I'm out. I'm it. Like, I'm not going further into Marvel Legends. I think I will go, if anything, I'll go back in time and get like the 90s stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how dare you come in and cheat and
it's business, man.
Dude, it's so wrong, man.
It's business. If they were doing a better job, the door wouldn't have been open for that to happen.
I mean,
if they weren't getting laxed
they were doing amazing. It's just they came. It's like Zack Snyder's Watchmen. That movie is the perfect superhero movie. It just happened 10 years too early, right? And now look at what we have. We have freaking Mark Ruffalo walking around as a CGI Hulk. Like, we live in dark times, man. We live in dark times. But again, look back at the history of like, look at the shelves. Everything was influenced by what came before, right? And I get that they pay homage to it and stuff like that, but man, there's just ain't nothing like the original. So another thing is the Face Off series, right? Where I've talked about it several times on this podcast, and how amazing that idea was, which is you can kind of see the influence of the Conan versus whatever. Like they were like, okay, well, we're going to do the Face Off, what we did. I don't know how. I did not even consider this or whatever. I knew for some reason that I had another Daredevil figure, but I couldn't place where. And I'm like, where was that from? Why can't I think about where this Daredevil came from? It was perfect. It was a perfect Daredevil figure. His little, like, billy clubs were, like, perfect and could fit in his little side, holster thing that he has. And then I realized that I had the Face Off 2-pack with Kingpin.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, I can't remember. I thought I never got to partake in the Face Off series, but I had that.
Which Kingpin?
The white suit.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because I remember finding the one where he didn't have a mask. And I was like, I'm going to get the one where he has the mask and it's the white suit. But dude, I don't know how I skipped over that over the course of this podcast.
That's wild.
Again, it's just unlocking these memories where it was like, wait a minute, I did have that. And I remember actually finding that figure later on you know, in like, as I was, you know, getting into a teenager, maybe even my 20s, where I found that and I was like, oh, this is so sick. And then I just have no idea where it's at. I have no idea where it's at.
Gonna have to reacquire it.
I'm gonna have to reacquire it, of course. But man, like,
Target acquired.
Yeah, so I think this episode is just like my love letter to, obviously, Toy Biz. I'm going to talk about it.
The rise and fall.
10,000 more episodes from here on out. Like, it's not over by any means, but it's just something that is like, you know, I know a lot of people love it. I know a lot of people recognize it. I know it's like, it's this thing that's almost undeniable. You cannot deny everything that this is, right?
No, I don't collect it, and I didn't live it in real time the same way that you did.
Yeah.
But I was there for it, and I do have an appreciation for it. And a lot of the stuff that they did, like, you know, we did a whole segment where I was saying that the Toy Biz WCW figures, I was too harsh on them, and I now have an appreciation for them. The Toy Biz Marvel Legends, like, I see them and I go gaga over just what they look like. There's like a 10% nostalgia and 90% in the moment. I love this right now today.
Right.
I just don't have the space. But because I've seen other people's on card in box Marvel Legends Toy Biz collections, and it's one of the coolest displays that you could possibly have.
Yeah.
I love your collection. I've got nothing but praise for them. They're not perfect.
Yeah,
nobody's perfect. But there's a lot. I could tell you, man. There's a lot of stuff in my life that lived and died. WCW that I just like absolutely adore, and it's, you know, one of those like it's better to have loved and lost kind of things. Like that, I like the idea of a beginning and an end, and you can just live in that space. You know what I mean? Some stuff keeps on going, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And doesn't always work out great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's all right. There was a heyday. Better that there was a heyday than there never was a heyday.
For sure.
So, like, yeah, man. I love the love letter to Toy Biz.
Exactly. I think for me, I was like it scared me a little bit when I started to, like, see the light at the end of the tunnel of, like, holy crap, like, that it's eventually going to end. You know, like, I'll eventually have collected every single one of them. And it's like, I don't want to know what it's like when that happens. But I think the good thing about it is the variants. Like, there's plenty of variants to go around. There's, like...
The good thing is you walk into your toy room and you look at it and you're happy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It continues to bring you joy.
Of course.
Then you start your on-card collection.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
right?
true. That is true.
That's like my mission, is to just make you broke.
Yeah, dude. Hopefully, again, these, you know, I was thinking about that the other day where I was looking at the toys. I was like, because part of me was like having this weird like guilt reaction. I was like, man, I've been buying a lot of toys lately. Like, maybe I need to slow down. And I was like, you know what? This is work. I'm like, it's work. And I was like, and honestly, like, a lot of people have made their toys make money for them.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is their thing. And I'm like, that's a good goal to have.
Yeah.
So
That would be amazing. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a blast. We're here for you every Monday, and of course, we will be back next Monday. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.
The city is frozen in fear, and Mr. Freeze aims to chill Batman next, but not anti-freeze Batman. Mr. Freeze and his Ice Sapper are out of control, but Batman's ready.
Freeze, Batman! Take this, hot shot! Ah!
Only Batman's Ice Hammer vehicle is tough enough to drill through this ice storm.
Chill out, Mr. Freeze!
Now the best is hotter than ever. Batman. Vehicle and figures each sold separately.